Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I have some great news to share with you. There is a new cybersecurity exam and it's only for New York City residents. I know you guys are going to be watching this like, what about my state? What about this other place? But I'm really familiar with New York City and how the city operates because they frequently release exams, and just so happens right now there's an exam that's catered towards us, meaning cybersecurity professionals. I'm not going to say it's guaranteed, but it's a stepping stone. It may be a possibility that if you take this exam, that once you get on the list, you would be called to a city agency as a cyber SOC analyst. And I will share all those details with you. You can choose to do it or not. I'll give you the exact salary range that this is going to fall under. The process of how to actually get on to taking the certification or the exam is not a certification. Let me just put it that way. It's like you have to fill out all this information. It's basically like a background check. And then you have to fill it out to the point where your education, your work experience, if you don't have any, that's fine. You just put all that in, and I'll explain more how that actually works. So right now I actually signed up for it, but I'm sitting on other civil service exams as well. So this is New York City's website, but let me show you guys what I'm talking about before we go any further. So let me just grab this right here. Okay. All right. So this is the website. This is the official DCAS website. And if you don't know what this means, is that DCAS releases a whole bunch of exams, and you can see it. And it happens pretty frequently, and it changes, it rotates. It has an expiration date of when the exam will last. It doesn't last forever. You can sign up for it, and you get notification through email. So right now, there is an exam that is called right here, 5061 Cybersecurity Analyst. And if you click on that, it'll bring you to a, it'll tell you the price. It'll tell you when the date, when it started and when it's going to end. So it's a short period of time. And from my experience, these exams usually happens between the 8th to 10th year. Like it just full circle around. Most people opt to take exams while working for the cities because once you become permanent, that's what you call a made person, where you're kind of fathered into the system, and no matter what you do, right, you're still protected through the union. You have a title and all that great stuff. The scope of this particular video is to help you and walk you through this particular process. The exam fee is $68. Yes, it's steep. It doesn't guarantee you anything. And from what I've heard and what I've read, and my understanding is usually after an exam, it takes about a year to get onto this list. And then, and only then, if city agencies are looking to hire for that position under that title, they would pull people from that list, meaning they would ask people, hey, are you still interested? Do you want to come in for an interview? And that's how that would all work out. Right? So it's not guaranteed. So let's just view the notice of exam. It'll bring you all this information. It will tell you the minimum salary is $61,093 per year. Okay? So they're upfront with that. What I have seen so far with the max salary range, I believe is like in 110,000. And through time with inflation and new union negotiations, those salary caps usually increases throughout the course of the years, right? So there is a sort of like a 3%, I'll say between 2 to 3% increases yearly. It once the union negotiates all that, but it's not always guaranteed. And if it doesn't happen one year, or if it doesn't happen the second year or the third year, once the negotiation happens, they retro all of that back. Which has happened to me. I've experienced that myself. Here, it will tell you what the job involves. Let's blow this up a little bit more, just to analyze what a cybersecurity analyst from the New York City exam is required to do. Okay, cybersecurity analyst performs work on varying degrees of difficulty and/or responsibility involved in architecture, analysis, software development, and data analysis, cyber event alert triage, documentation and investigation, cybersecurity policy development and review, auditing, risk management. All cybersecurity analysts perform related work. So it's really broad. It doesn't really dive deep into anything. But what the scope of this means is that it covers all aspects and gives you a general idea of what this title is supposed to be doing, or once you obtain this title, what you're supposed to be doing when you work for a city agency. All right. Not all city agency or not all employment of this position going forward may need you to do every single thing that it details. But if it does ask you to do something within that, it's covered, right? So that does that make sense? Like, you know, if I hire you to do 10 different things, and if it's on this title and you have the title, you are required to do those 10 different things. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be proficient. You can start learning from it. You can, you know, on the job education and all that. So there's definitely some room there to grow with it. They don't expect you to, you know, fly over the moon and do all these things that you haven't learned yet. All right. So that's one of the key aspects of this, because this title is more of a junior position. In my honest opinion, it is not a senior position. It's not management. It's not middle management. So it's something that you have to take in consideration. Now, I actually signed up for this. I paid for the exam. I paid the $68, and there was a convenience fee. While I'm doing this, and I just got a notification that it's going to expire. So meaning my session is going to expire. So what I want to do right now is just to show you exactly what type of exam this is, right? So it's just basically going through what you know and checking it off, right? So I got the Google Cloud certification. I did that. I checked off Security Plus. I'm not sure what cybersecurity, meaning like, is that a certification? I have no idea. I do have a few other ones, but I'm not even like, I have the SSCP, I have the CISSP, and I believe that's it, right? Microsoft Azure Data Engineer. I do have a Microsoft Azure certification, but I don't think it's a data engineer associate. I don't even remember. So I'm not even going to like check that one off unless I validate it, I guess. I have to double check. It's been a while. It's been a while, guys. So let me click on save and continue. So this is the actual exam at this point. All right. So additional information of the following. What is the highest level of education you have or will have completed? So I have a bachelor's degree and certificate in computer programming. No, I don't think I have that. Yeah, I have a 4-year degree. I have all your answers. Yeah, I have all that. Below are the options for the question. Okay, all right. So they're just basically repeating everything. Does your bachelor's degree or 120 credit include, or is it supplement by 24 semester credits in cybersecurity, network security, computer science? Yes, I do. The college or university must be accredited by regional. Yes, it is. It's I went to a private college. Expensive, guys. Oh my goodness. I can't even fathom the idea of having to continue paying student loans. I know some of you guys are, and it's really heart. It hurts. I know it hurts. All right. Was the bachelor degree or 120 semester credit you claim to have earned in your previous answer completed in a foreign country? No, it was not. It was here in New York City. Not including any experience previously claimed. How many more months of satisfactory full-time experience do you have in cybersecurity and or information security? This experience may involve risk management, encryption, monitoring network traffic, performing threat analysis, conducting vulnerability scans, and fixing vulnerabilities. Oh my goodness, I probably had so here's the ranges, right? It less than 6 months, 6 months, 54 months, 60 or more months. So I definitely have 60 or more months. 60 divided by 12 is 5 years. I definitely have that. I definitely have it. I know I had to pull up the calculator to do calculations. But yes, 5 years. Please select an option. Oh, sorry. All right, let's do this. This is the exam, guys. This is not trivial. This is not sitting through a, CISSP or CC, some cloud certification. This is just an exam. They call it an exam, but it's basically your past experience, your current experience, work experience, schooling, education, and all that. So that's what they call an exam. So I just want to make sure that you understand that. Don't freak out and say, oh, where's the exam? The first time I ever did this, and I've done this plenty of times previously, this is not my first time doing it. When I was told to take these certifications, I keep saying certification. When I was advised to take an exam for the city while I was working in the city, I went through all of this, and I was like, okay, all right, I'm just filling out my biography, my personal information, and then I'm going to get ready for the exam. I'm sitting there going through all of this, and then all of a sudden, I was told, that's the exam. That was the exam. This is the exam, all right? So how often do you conduct threat analysis by reviewing security? Compendiums. I can't even say that. Compendiums. And keeping up to date on all resources available to maintain security posture. Daily. I even do it on the weekends on my own. Yeah, it doesn't say work specifically. So maybe I can get away with that. Yeah, I do it daily. I mean, I keep up to date and reviewing a lot of stuff. A lot. All right, keep on going. How often do you analyze, recommend, and or perform remediation of vulnerabilities in existing systems, network, and application to maintain security postures? Oh my God, I do that daily too. Yes, daily. How often do you conduct system event monitoring auditing using logging and other protocols in order to maintain security visibility? Daily. And when I say daily, I mean, this is like, I would say work daily, right? I mean, I do my own things on the weekend, so I could count easily, Saturdays and Sundays. But if it's strictly, employment wise, working for someone, yes, 5 days a week, I would still say daily. All right. And even if you did it like every other day, I would still say daily. Yeah. I mean, that's frequent enough where it makes sense. And you can explain all that when you sit through the interview process itself. But let's go here and finish this up. Not including any experience previously claimed, how many more months of satisfactory full-time experience do you have providing technical customer service in an IT environment? This may involve providing technical assistance, support related computer systems, devices, and equipment, answering end-user questions, utilizing IT ticketing software, escalating high-level issues, and resolving issues in a timely manner to customer satisfaction. The experience must be attained by February 25th, 2025. Okay, so this meaning if you're borderline, like you're trying to meet the minimum requirements of hours provided or months provided to answer this question, they're telling you that you have until February 25th, end of this month, to complete this. Now, those are people who are like just starting and they're like, oh my goodness, I don't have enough experience level in order to complete this. Don't freak out. Just select the minimum. All right. 30, less than 12 months and no additional experience. All right. You can select that. That's fine. But for myself, just this morning, I got a text like 6:30 in the morning. Someone messaged me asking me about end user stuff. All right. So that's like a daily thing for me. Definitely 36 months or more. So I'll click on continue. How often do you monitor system health for security configurations, licenses, certificates in order to maintain security posture? Oh my goodness. That's like daily. This may involve reporting to end of life systems, certificates, and or app versions. Now I'll just explain that. Like even if you were looking at vulnerability scans, reports, and you're seeing legacy systems, legacy OSs, and then you're backtracking and you're like, oh my God, all these licenses are expired. They're no longer supported. A lot of Cisco devices, the contract is up, things like that. All right. We can dive so deep into this. But again, remember, this is just a cybersecurity analyst position. They're not expecting you to know 10 years worth of, experience. Maybe one, maybe zero, so just put whatever it is that you feel comfortable with. We could put weekly, we could put monthly. I could put weekly. I have no fear. No fear. All right. How often do you respond to tickets submitted by users to resolve technical issues? If users need something deleted or modified. I used to do it a lot. Now that I've moved up in my position, I don't really touch service tickets now as much as I used to, and I don't really need to resolve anything. And usually we have tier 1, tier 2 to do all that. So I do not perform this task. I'm just going to be frank. I do not perform this task. If you do, by all means, put it. How often do you do it? Daily, weekly, monthly, okay? How often do you provide application support for users? Maybe monthly. I mean, I don't do it all the time. I'm not a desktop support person, so I'll just put it out there. I do get questions sometimes about other things, like, what do I do with, Splunk, or what do I do with, Rapid7 or any other application related to cybersecurity, or, security tools, right? Cyber tools. Even AI now, like people are asking me that, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's like all my personal stuff. That's not even work related. I would say monthly. I would keep it monthly. Do you possess any of the following certification? Now this seems a little repetitive, right? We just selected whatever it is that we had earlier, and now they're asking the same question. So now you can see the value of this exam, right? So again, if you didn't have any of these certifications and you're like, oh, I'm going to be taking it next week, which hasn't happened yet, and you pass it, you have up to the 25th of February to select the actual criterias of what they're asking here. Okay, so you can always come back to it. So now, how many of these certificates do you possess? So I have 1, 2, 3. 2 or more. So I have 2 or more. All right. So I don't know what leverage that has, but okay. Do you possess any of the following certifications? Nope. I do have the AWS, and I used to have the CCNA, but it's like no longer active. I'm just gonna say yes, because I do. I legitimately have, Microsoft Azure. Oh, I do have this one too. Microsoft Azure Fundamentals. So I'm gonna say yes. I'm legitimately not lying. Don't lie. All right. Try not to lie. Or at least just don't lie. I have 2. I do have 2. 2 or more? Yeah, I think so. Let's see. ITIL, CSM. Oh, see, that's the crazy part. My CCNA is no longer in effect. I'm just gonna say 1. So, because this one I definitely have for sure. The other one, I never bothered taking any of these. It just never intrigued me anymore. All right, let's keep on going. So there you go. I scored 100. It's like a tentative 100. Someone will review it. Like I said, it'll take let's continue to the summary. Qualify score, review. Okay, I'm not going to modify anything. By submitting this education experience exam, I certify that I have reviewed all the entries made of this education experience exam. Okay, I affirm that I am the person complete. Yes, that's me. And final submit. Penalty for misrepresentation. All right, guys, remember that. Don't have anyone else sit through this exam for you. All right, done. I am done. Qualified. 100. Okay. And then you can review anything else. So going back, so that was the exam. So now I'm going to go back and just review this really high level. I do have, let me just pull up the salary. Cybersecurity Analyst. DCAS range. Let me just pull up the salary range. I believe I do have a salary range. If not, actually, oh man, I don't have that. Let me see if I could find it. But I do have a job posting that fills in this criteria for this exam. Now, like I said, this exam just came out, so people are not hiring into it yet, but they're posting positions for future. When you do take this exam and you get on, you own this title under your name, you will be filled into that position permanently. So let me just revise that, right? So this vacancy has, okay, wrong one. I do have another one. Okay, here you go. Cybersecurity analyst. All right, we found one. And it's pretty recent, guys. It's pretty recent. Let me just blow this up a little bit. So cybersecurity analyst, it is telling you the salary ranges from 95 to 100,000. So what I was saying earlier, this title for the civil service is 68,000 to like 110. I looked up that salary earlier. Remember, this is not a permanent title yet, meaning this exam is still active. Until it's no longer active and it's done, and then you actually get put on the list, that's the only time you own or you're working under that title. And then agencies sort of like this one, which is the Departments of Parks and Recreation, will look for individuals that have this title, because you'll be on this big list of people that have this title. And trust me, because of the short period of time, not everyone takes the exam, or they miss it because they're just not aware that it was there, unless you sign up for their newsletter or the notification and all that. So I mean, I keep tabs on it because I'm always intrigued on what's going on with the city, especially city job positions. You can go like, cityjobs.nyc or nyc.gov and look up jobs there as well, and you'll find a whole bunch of cybersecurity positions available. Now, doesn't mean like they're always backfilling or hiring new positions, but there are postings up there. And because I have experience with working for the city, and especially the process of how they do certain things, it could be a little slower, right? It's not necessarily going to be the quickest thing. You see my little Steam account going. So that's it. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know this is lengthy, but I went through the whole process of how you would take an exam, right? You could read through all of this. I'll link it in the description below. This is what the actual title of this, cybersecurity analyst, what this person who obtains this title would be doing. And this is where you will fall under. These basically is the guideline to what this position will have you doing. And it'll explain all of that within this document. Every single title, whether it's cybersecurity related, IT related, or non-IT related, all has their own personal documentation similar to this, known as a notice of examination. It gives the exam number, and it gives the full details of when it was available for people to take. Okay, and then once you do all that, you can choose to take it or not. You see all these other different exams, correction officers, blah blah blah. For many months or even years, there was no cyber-specific certification or cyber-specific exam until now, which is the cybersecurity analyst. They're recognizing it now. All right. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Hopefully this helps you, especially if you're a New York City resident and you're looking for a junior cybersecurity job. Do it. Just do it. I know there's a high cost. $68 is not fun for something that you're going to probably have to wait a little longer for. There's no instant gratification for taking this exam. There's no like, oh, you passed. Even though I got 100, you saw I got 100, but it's not something you can like, show off and say, oh, look, I got 100 for the cybersecurity analyst title thing, right? Doesn't mean anything besides to the city itself, right? Thank you guys. Hopefully this made a lot of sense. If you have any questions, comment below, email me, whatever it is, but comment below. All right. Thank you. And I'll see you guys again really soon. Take care.